Hello everyone, welcome back to the continuation of videos on how to create charts in Excel. I am your host and instructor, Professor Ruben Herrera, and we're going to continue with our lesson on how to create charts in Excel. So, one of the things that I love about the Excel charts is that, for example, let us look at the data right here. Look at this right here, the Park Place Mall. It looked like this mall is having pretty good business right here. Look at the height of these columns right here. But let us pretend that we need to change some of this data, or some of this data was an error or was a mistake. So for example, look at right here, look at that third quarter for that Park Place Mall, and look right here at the data that I have right here on my spreadsheet. For the third quarter, notice that for the Park Place Mall, I have over $500,000 in sales. What I'm going to do, I'm going to change this number, and I'm going to change this number dramatically. I'm going to change it to down to 300,000. And when I press enter, look at what happened to my chart, my friends. Okay, you see that? So one of the things that I love about Excel is that the chart will automatically update if we change the numbers right here from our data source or from this data. Okay, this is a very nice feature that I love about Excel. I'm going to change it back. Actually, I'm just going to click on do to change my data, and look, boom, my number changed. So also right here, the column, the height of my column also changes. Okay, so also, my friends, notice that whenever I click inside of my chart, and I know that I am that my when I click inside of my chart is selected, and I know that my chart is selected because number one, I have right here these sizing buttons. I have these little doohickeys right here. These are called the quick analysis buttons. These little bitty thingies right here that you see popping in and out. These things, beginning on Excel 2013, these things actually Microsoft put this in here. These are for your convenience, but everything that you get in here on these options right here, they're actually the same thing that you get here on these two additional tabs right here. Where did my tabs went? Well, if I click away from my chart, those tabs disappear. If I click inside of my chart, preferably on the chart area, my two tabs will appear. I'm going to start right here now with that design tab. And if you notice, my friends, right here, starting right here from the left, I have this command that is called chart elements. Okay, on the chart elements, the easiest way for me to explain this and to put it on a few words, I want you guys think of your chart as a Christmas tree. Okay, and when you go right here to chart elements, these are the Christmas ornaments that you put on your Christmas tree. Okay, I don't really like to put too much on my charts. I like to keep my charts simple and professional. There is also a best practice rules going around when it comes to models or in charts or data analysis. When you're going to present your chart to an audience, and there is a best practice rule going around that says if it takes your audience more than 10 seconds to realize or to understand what type of information you have on your chart, that means that you have too much information or you have too much in there. Okay, so once again, if it takes your audience more than 10 seconds to understand or to realize what type of information is on your chart, then you have too much information on your chart. So I'm just going to add right here probably some data labels, and I'm going to do right here probably inside in. These are the ones actually outside, and this doesn't look as bad right here. I noticed that some of these right now, they might look a little bit crowded. Okay, but however, we're going to take care of this problem right here in a little bit. Next, right here, I have the quick layout. The quick layout, my friends, the easiest way for me to explain this, the quick layout, just think about it like this chart right here is your living room. And how many of you at home, how many of you rearrange your furniture in your living room about, once a year or once every other year so that the house look kind of like look different and you don't get tired of looking at the same thing. So this is the same thing. It doesn't change your the type of chart that you have really, but it just change the way some of this stuff is arrange a little bit and is resized a little bit. So in a way, it's also like a variation of the same chart that you have already. I know some people that love this because they feel like they have the best of both worlds on these charts. They have the chart, they have the columns, and they also have a table with data in it. Uh, Me personally, I like really all of them. All of them, they're awesome. The only thing, one thing that you have to take in consideration, my friends, is that whenever you select one of these quick layouts, whatever previous formatting that you have done to your charts before, like for example, in my case, I added some column labels in here, you are going to lose those. Okay, I believe there are a chart tab that would allow me to keep them. Oh, they're right here. I guess I'm gonna do this right here. Very nice. Uh, Next, right here on the next command, I can change the colors of my chart. I don't know why would you want to do this. Some of these colors are very nice. Some of these colors are not so nice. I like to leave just the default colors. They are fine for me. Next, I have right here some chart styles in here. I can change the entire style of my chart with just one click. I used to use this style for years. It looks very elegant, very professional. People used to think that I was some kind of, graphic designer. No, it's just an Excel chart, and it only takes two clicks. Nowadays, lately, I've been finding myself using something more like this. I like this better now with the white background. Okay. Um, my next command right here, you can switch right here. You can invert the way you have your data right here on your axis. Sometimes it will look okay. You see that? Sometimes it will not. Sometimes it will work. Sometimes it will not. Notice that I'm switching right here the quarters with the locations right here. Depending on the chart that you have and the type of data that you have, sometimes it will look okay, sometimes it will not. Now, this is another feature that I like a lot. For example, let us pretend that we're looking at this chart with our supervisor, and our supervisor says, well, let us not concentrate yet on the fourth quarter. I'm just going to look at the first three quarters right here. Okay, so I'm going to go right here on select data, and I'm going to get this dialog box. And on this dialog box, notice I can either reselect right here the data that is on my chart. Oops, it gives me an error. No problem. Or better yet, I actually don't do this, but what I like to do, if you notice right here, my friends, I have these check boxes right here. In these check boxes, what I can do, I can click right here. I can click right here. Okay, hang on just one second. I'm going to fix this very quick. There you go. So right here, I can click, I can check and uncheck the information that I wanna momentarily, hide or unhide. I'm gonna click OK, and look, now I'm only seeing the first three quarters. Very nice. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. And let's pretend that the supervisor said, well, I want to see all four quarters, but I don't want to look at the Place Park Mall because that is no longer our location. Or I'm going to sell that location, and we're no longer going to worry about that. So there you go. Uncheck that. That actually their big seller. Click OK. There you go. Now I'm not looking at the Place Park Mall location, and I'm looking only at the other two. Very nice. Last but not least, the other feature that I like to use from this chart is this one right here. I like to move my chart. I like to move my chart. This is going to be very simple. All I have to do is just click right here, and I can decide right here that I can move a chart right here on a new sheet, and I'm going to call this year sales, and I'm going to click on OK. And notice that now I have my chart in a totally separate a spreadsheet on another sheet. There is no spreadsheet behind it. It's just a chart right here. Notice that I have my spreadsheet right here that I can present to my audience or my supervisor or whatnot. And if they're curious enough, they can click right here and they can look at the chart. One of the things that I kind of disagree with Excel is about putting uh, uh, locating the chart right here at the beginning of the workbook. What I like to do, you can actually drag right here and drop, and I'm gonna drag and drop this right here at the end of the workbook. So that way, whenever I open up my report or someone open my report, we'll see that chart, we'll see the spreadsheet first, and then if they're curious enough, they can look at the chart right here, and voila, it looks very nice and neat. All right, well, this is what I have for right now so far in our tutorials on how to create charts in Excel. If you like this video, please click on the like button, and if you didn't, please don't do anything. And I look forward to see you guys in another video on how to create charts in Excel. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.